Correct. Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the Daily Indian Express newspaper analysis for the date 19th as well as 20th March 2024, brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy. Okay, let's get into the today's newspaper analysis. Mentioned here are the list of articles which we are going to have the analysis in the upcoming slides. So have a look into it. Okay, let's analyze every article one by one. States CAPEX rose over a third during the period of April to June. Sorry, it's Jan, not June. During this period, states capital expenditure has risen. This is what the news is about. Let's look into the further analysis of the news. Before that, let's look into the relation of the news to the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to economic and social development. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resource, growth, development and employment, which comes under GS paper 3 economic and development topic. Okay, let's move on to further explanation part of the news. See, the expenditure on the assets creation has risen more than 1/3 on a year in the first 10 months of this financial year, and it is comparatively it is 7% rise than the previous financial year. And the review of the finance of the large 18 states have showed that their capex expenditure during the period of April to Jan has risen by 37%, and the withdrawal of the GST compensation hasn't dented the state revenues during this period of time. The release of interest-free loans by the center to the states and quick tax transfer by the center has cushioned the state's effort to make the expenditure in creating the assets. And while the tax revenue of the states remained reasonably strong, many of them also raised the borrowing level to augment the capital expenditure. And during this period, Uttar Pradesh was the biggest investor, followed by Madhya Pradesh as well as Maharashtra. These are all the top 3 states during this period of time have invested heavily in asset creation. So apart from the central government capex support, the overall buoyancy in revenue has supported the increase in the capital expenditure. So it is, on the one hand, it is from the support of the center, the capital expenditure has risen. On the other hand, it is the states their own revenue has also got increased during this period of time, which in turn enabled them to increase the capex expenditure. Okay, let's look into what is this capex expenditure is about. See, money spent by the government or the company on the development of machineries, equipments or other thing which is very essential for running the industries or the organization is called as capital expenditure. It is associated with investment or the development related activities or the spending. It leads to creation of assets that are long term in nature, and it allows the economy to generate revenue for many years. So this is what the capital expenditure is about. So what is the significance does the capital expenditure holds is, see, it will have a multiplier effect in the economy. So whenever the capital expenditure is being made in the economy means, and the basic infrastructure will get increased, which in turn will be leading to job creation, thereby leading to personal disposable income, which in turn will be leading to consumption, and the economy cycle will be continues. Secondly, it will be leading to labor productivity. Increased capex expenditure in the working process or the organization process will be leading to increased efficiency of the labor. Thirdly, it will act as macroeconomic stabilizer. The infrastructure expenditure or the capital expenditure will ensure that the basic thing that is required for the smooth running of the economy is there. If the basic thing that is required for the smooth running of the economy is there means, then it will be leading to macroeconomic stabilizer. Fourthly, it will increase disposable income, increase job opportunity, and then increase the profit, and to the organization will be leading to increased revenue generation in the form of tax to the government. And then because of the increase in tax as well as the increase in the non-tax revenues because of the spending made in the capital related thing, it will be leading to increase in revenue, which in turn will be leading to reduced borrowing, thereby reducing the liability of the government, and then increased expenditure in the capital the capital assets by the government will be leading to development of the basic infrastructure, which will act as the pull factor for the private investment to come in. So this is what the significance the capital expenditure holds in an economy. So what need to be studied further is we should be aware of the revenue receipts as well as revenue expenditure. What is the difference between both of them, and what is balance of payment? Along with it, we should be aware of what is current account deficit, what is current account, capital account, and what is the current account deficit as well as current account surplus, and what impact the current account deficits as well as surplus creates in an economy. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Heat, aridity, clear skies. Why forests are already blazed in the Nilgiris? So the news is related to the recent forest fire incident in the Kunnur, in the Nilgiri region. And let's look into what is the forest fire is about and how it is caused and what are all the measures that need to be taken by the government to overcome the forest fires. Before that, let's look into the relation of the news with the examination. Under the prelims, it has been related with general issues in environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change. Similarly, under GS paper 3, environment, through a subtopic called conservation, environmental pollution and degradation and environmental impact assessment. So this is how the news has been related with examination. Forest fires have been ranging in the Kunnur forest range in the Nilgiris region for the past 1 week, and Indian Air Force along with the State Forest Department have deployed Mi-17V5 helicopter to conduct the Bambi bucket operation, which dumps 16,000 liter until now has dumped 16,000 liter of waters on the fires. So what does this Bumpy bucket is about? Bumpy bucket is also called as helicopter bucket or the heli bucket, which is a specialized container that is suspended by a cable and a chopper. It can be filled by lowering into river or the pond before flown above the fire and discharged aerially by operating a valve at the bottom of the chopper. So this is what the Bumpy bucket is about, and this is what the thing the government, that is the Indian Air Force as well as the State Forest Department officials are right now doing to stop the forest fires that is raging in the Nilgiris region. So let's look into the forest fires in India. So November to June is considered to be the period where the forest fires across the country has been seen, and with hundreds of thousands of small and large fires incidents happen during this period of time. And April, May are usually the worst month where the forest fire will be reaching its peak because of the peak in the summer month. And the biennial Indian State of Forest Report, which has been published by Forest Survey of India, which comes under Ministry of Environment, Forest as well as Climate Change, has recorded in its 2019 report that more than 36% of India's forest cover was prone to frequent forest fires, and about 4% of the forest cover was extremely prone to the fire, and another 6% was very highly fire prone. Globally, about 3% of the total forest area of about 98 million hectares of forest were affected by the fires in the year 2014, which is mostly in the tropical region. So where do the forest fire in India occur? So according to the Forest Survey of India, 7 fires break out in dry deciduous forest. It is severe fire breaks out in dry deciduous forest, while evergreen, semi-evergreen, mountain temperate forests are comparatively less prone to fires because of the increased moisture that has been present in this type of vegetation. The forest of Northeast India, Odisha, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand are the most vulnerable forests, are the most vulnerable region to the forest fires during the period of November to June period. In March 2023, large bushfires raged in Goa, which triggers an investigation into whether they are man-made or not. And then in 2021, a series of forest fire broke in Uttarakhand, Himachal, Nagaland, Manipur, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, which includes the wildlife sanctuary. So these are all the examples which we can quote in the mains GS paper 3 whenever there is the questions related to forest fire. So forest fire this year, for the past week, the highest number of forest fires have been reported from Mizoram and Manipur, Assam, Meghalaya and Maharashtra. So these are all the top states that are right now facing the forest fire in their region. Satellite data generated by ISRO tools showed that the forest fires have been on an uptick, that is the increase in the forest fire incidents early March along the Konkan belt in Maharashtra, the south coastal Gujarat along the Gir Somnath as well as Porbandar region, southern Rajasthan and adjoining western district of Madhya Pradesh, coastal and interior region of Odisha as well as adjoining Jharkhand. So these are all the areas where the ISRO has mapped the most vulnerable region in terms of the forest fire incidents. So in South India, most of the forests are covered areas of most forest covers areas of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu have seen fire incidents over the past few weeks. So our forest fires in South India are unusual. Some forest areas in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are fire prone. According to Forest Survey of India, the forests in southern India are comparatively less vulnerable to fire as the vegetation type is mainly evergreen or semi-evergreen because of increased moisture content in it. And Tamil Nadu has been reporting wildfires in its forest in the recent years. The incident of the forest fires is getting increased for the past few years in Tamil Nadu. So what is the reason for the fire this year? The forest fire can be either man-made as well as natural made. So majority of the forest fires are the result of the human-made incidents only. So like the activities like discarded cigarettes, campfires, burning of debris, etc. are the things which are contributing heavily to the forest fire incidents in India. The forest fires need conducive atmosphere to spread. That is, hot and dry temperature and high tree density are some of the natural factors that is responsible for the forest fire incidents. This year, high aridity, above normal temperature, clear sky condition and then calm winds during the early phase of the summer has led to acted as the contributory factors for the forest fires in India. So this February was South India's hottest since 1901 and January was the 5th warmest in more than a century. Over the past 2 months, this region has recorded maximum, minimum as well as the mean temperature way above than the average level. So this is the reason why there has been increased forest fire incident has been happening in the southern India. As a result, as I said, the vulnerability of the southern India for the past few years has got increased, particularly this for the from the Jan to March month, it has got severely increased. So the IMD has warned the prevalence of excess heat factor. So what is this excess heat factor? A value that predicts the chances of heat waves across the region. So IMD has predicted that this value is significantly higher than the normal range in the western Andhra Pradesh and the neighboring Karnataka, and the maximum temperature has touched the 40 degrees Celsius last week, which is unusual in the mid-March month. And then in the absence of rain and then prevailing high temperature, the IMD has classified almost all districts of southern India under mild aridity. So this is what the news with regards to the forest fire incidents in NILGIRIS is about, and the analysis and the related analysis to it. So what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is we should be aware of UNFCCC, UNCCD, UNCBD. It's the three conventions, objectives and its current mandate and what is the status of it. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Behind and beyond the water crisis in Bengaluru. So the news analysis is related to the recent water crisis in Bengaluru, why it has happened and what are all the way forward that need to be taken to overcome the water crisis in Bengaluru, not only in Bengaluru, across all the cities as well as different parts of the country. So let's look into the relation of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, Panchayat Raj. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with statutory, regulatory and various quasi-judicial bodies. So this is how the news has been related with the examination. Acute drinking water crisis in Bengaluru is prevailing for the past 1 week. Karnataka CM said Bengaluru was facing a shortage of 500 million liters of water, which is 1/3 of the city's total demand. Sorry, 1/5 of the city's total demand. It is not restricted to Bengaluru, but also to the region that is surrounding the Bengaluru, which includes the border areas of Karnataka, Andhra and the other parts of the Karnataka. The entire state of Karnataka, as also adjoining the area of Telangana, Maharashtra, as I said, are facing the water scarcity. It's not only the Bengaluru. Reason is due to lower than normal rainfall during the monsoon season and the nature of the underground aquifer. So these are all the two natural reasons that is responsible for the recent shortage for the water in Bengaluru. Okay, what is the reason for? Let's get deep into the reason for the water shortage. So during 2023 monsoon, Karnataka has received rainfall that was 18% below normal, which is least since 2015. The post-monsoon period did not bring much rainfall. Like most of the other part of the countries, Karnataka receives the bulk of its rainfall during the monsoon period, and it is this water that fills up the reservoirs and it will be recharging the aquifers. A rainfall deficit in monsoon month will be resulting in the water crisis in the upcoming months. Other states like Kerala, which has faced 34% of district deficit, which is higher than the Karnataka, and the other states like Bihar, Jharkhand, Eastern UP has almost faced a 25% deficit, which is also higher than the Karnataka rainfall deficit. But in Bengaluru, the nature of aquifer is what it is making the thing which is difficult for storage of the water. South India has a very different kinds of aquifers. So that is the reason why, even though the Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, the region that has received higher amount of the rainfall deficit during monsoon, has suffered less when compared to the Bengaluru. Why? Because of the nature of the aquifer. The southern states mostly have the underground aquifer, which is made of rock. The aquifer doesn't hold a lot of water, and it will empty out quickly, and also at the same time it will be recharging quickly. So because of it, the nature of emptying the water quickly, it could not able to sustain the water for the longer period of time. So it is very much different from the North India, as I said. That is the reason why, even though they have suffered the high rainfall deficit during the last monsoon when compared to the Bengaluru or the Karnataka as the whole, Karnataka is suffering because of the water shortage. So that is the reason why, as I said, Bengaluru, Bihar and UP is suffering less when compared to the Karnataka. So falling reservoirs level. So another direct consequence of low rainfall, low water is lower reservoir. Another consequence of low rainfall is low reservoir levels. Latest data from Central Water Commission, what it says that Karnataka reservoirs are currently holding water at 26% of their full capacity, which is at least 10% lower than what it expected at this point of the year. So instead of nearly 8.8 billion cubic meters of water that is expected in Karnataka's reservoirs at this time of year, only 6.5 billion cubic meters is currently available with Karnataka. So it is not just the Karnataka's reservoirs that have below normal water levels. Other states in the southern Indias like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh are also having below normal aquifer levels. But the demand of the Karnataka is very higher when compared to the other states. So that is the reason why they are getting right now they're getting into the water crisis. And roughly half of the Bengaluru gets its drinking water through the piped supply. The remaining half comes from the groundwater. So those regions that is receiving the water from the groundwater have been affected severely when compared to those regions that are receiving the waters through piped supply. And as summer rolls in, the state might be having even the water crisis problem will get increased during the summer months, during the peak summer months, as the demand goes up. And during that time, the demand not only comes from the household but also from industry, agriculture, as well as hydropower sectors. This is likely to continue till the monsoon rain arrives. So this is what the analysis of the Bengaluru water crisis is about. So let's look into the how to deal with the water shortage. So long-term structural issues like unregulated construction, systematic destruction of lake, hindrance to the natural underground flow of water, climate change are all the issues that are the reason for the water deficit in the region. But current crisis is mainly due to seasonal fluctuations like rainfall deficit and also because of the nature of the aquifers. So these are all the things that are commonly responsible for the water crisis across the different parts of the country. But this crisis is mainly due to the two fluctuations, that is one due to the rainfall deficit and another due to the lack of storage in the underground aquifer in the Bengaluru. So the parts of the states are also facing more even great water shortage when compared to the Bengaluru or these cities. So India need to build capacity to deal with multi-year droughts. So the extrapolation of the data from the government source showing that the probability of 2 or 3 continuous years of the drought at the national level is low, but at the state level this is probable and it is quite high. So the key to have or to reduce the water crisis whenever there is a shortage of rainfall or whenever there is the less aquifer or the underground water is to put value on the water. See, it is not a free source, so the low or optimum usage need to be encouraged, as well as at the same time they need to be incentivized, or the wastage of waters need to be discouraged, and the policies need to be realigned that the use of underground water to the use of household pumps, for example, needs to be discouraged and minimized. So this is what the way forward that has been put in this article. So what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of Central Water Commission, Central Groundwater Board, their structure, function as well as objectives, and under which ministry they are coming, and if they are having any statutory backup or not, we have to look into it. Secondly, we should be aware of National Water Policy and Namimi Ganges project. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. What does Hong Kong's new stringent security law say? So the news is related to the recent implementation of Hong Kong security law. So what does the law has, and what are the features the law holds, and what implication does it create? So these are all the things which we are going to have which we are going to see in the upcoming slides. Before that, let's look into the linkage of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to current events of national as well as international importance. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with the effects of policies and politics and developing effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interests as well as Indian diaspora. So this is how the news has been related with examination. So Hong Kong passed its new national security law, which broadens the definition of crimes. So it includes sabotage, sedition, state secrets, and stipulates tougher penalty on to life imprisonment. The law comes on top of 2020 security law, which has been imposed by China a year after massive pro-democracy protests. The law could have implication for many sectors in the global financial hub, which includes business, academia, law, diplomacy, as well as media. So what is the key offences and what is the sentences has been given under this law for those offences? First is sedition. The offence carry a jail term of up to 7 years for any seditious act, word or publication with the intention of bringing hatred, contempt, dissatisfaction against the China or the Hong Kong government. It is such act carries on collusion with if such act is carried on with collaboration with external forces like the foreign government or the foreign political parties, etc., the penalty may be rising to 10 years. The offence also carries a 3-year jail term for possession of publication with seditious intention. So this is what the jail term that has been given under the sedition offence. In terms of state secret, at least 3 years jail term for the unlawful possession of the state secret, which would likely harm the national securities, will be given. So the jail term of 5 years for the unlawful acquisition of such secret and 7 years for those who leave the country by having the such secret in their hand. So this is what the jail term that has been given under the state secrets, or the sabotaging with the state secrets. And external interference, the jail term of 14 years for collaborating with external forces to bring about interference over the areas including government and espionage. The activities like espionage is also covered under the law, that is jail term up to 20 years have been given under this law. And then prison, which is maximum life imprisonment has been given for such a kind of activities. So these are all the different kinds of crimes that has been covered under the security law of the Hong Kong, and these are all the different kinds of jail terms that has been given to each of the crimes. So effect on defendant's right. So right advocates say that the new law will further undermine the legal protection of defendants charged with national security offence. So this is what the news details related to the Hong Kong's national security law is about, and this is what the implication it will have on the ground in terms of its implementation according to the experts. So what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of Hong Kong geography, Taiwan issue, as well as the India-Taiwan relationship. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. So let's look into today's practice prelims question. Mentioned here is the today's practice prelims question. So those students, those are watching this session online, please do comment the option point for the question which you are seeing right now on the board. So with this, we have reached the end of today's session. So please do like, comment, share, as well as subscribe Ganesh IAS YouTube channel, so that you will be receiving daily current affairs session notification, and also weekly environmental science and tech current affairs notification, and also any other important current affairs session as well on the exam related session that will be brought to you in the future by Ganesh IAS Academy. Thank you.